Hello, welcome to Cycling Tips. I am Dave and I'm here in, well, not so sunny Tuscany. And I've got Hutchinson on hand, which is perfect because, well, tubeless tyres are a relatively new thing in the world of road and gravel. And I know I make plenty of mistakes when installing them. So I thought I'd ask the expert, Xavier here, to show us 5 top tips you should know when looking after and installing tubeless tyres.
Tip number 1, don't forget to screw carefully your valve. You may lose air every day if you do not, but don't screw it too much. If you are on the road, you must be able to unscrew it in the event of the necessity of putting a tube inside.
So there's don't get the pliers on it.
No, strongly but not too much. Tips number 2.
Tip number 2.
You should push the tire on the rim using inside the center line, which is smaller than the outer line. It will make it much more easier to insert the tire, and you will not need to use tool who can damage the small line here, which is very important to close the tire.
So you want to get it right inside, in the centre groove.
Center all around, so you can make it match the circumference. And then you should be able to finish by hand. This is really better. You can use this.
Look at that, easy.
Easy.
Easy, easy, easy. So it's getting it right in the centre.
Yeah.
Both beads, right down centre.
That's it.
And then strong thumbs.
By hand if you can.
Now, as we know, there's plenty of tyre manufacturers out there.
Yeah.
And plenty of rim manufacturers. Is there problems with compatibility? Is there some that are a little bit bigger, some that are a little bit smaller?
Of course. Sometimes manufacturers are much precise than others, let's say.
Yeah.
So I would advise you to take some supple casing tires, always easier to mount.
How do we find supple casing tyres? What are we looking for?
127 TPI, 60 TPI start to be harder, 33
forget it.
Mess.
Okay, tip number 3. Is number 3 we're on?
Yeah.
I've not lost count.
You may use a little tool to remove the
Valve core, or in French,
obus for French valve. So you have a bigger airflow to inflate the first time. Let's have a pump. Are you my assistant?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I'll be your assistant. Now let's talk pumps first.
Oh, your job.
No, I'll let you do it. You're the expert. Tell us pump-wise. This one's clearly quite meaty.
Yes, this one is very convenient because it's a pump, but it's also an air tank. So you may increase the pressure. It's actually 10 inside. So we will give a lot of air in 1 or 2 seconds to place the tire on the rim.
So you want a decent pump that can store a large volume of air and then disperse it in one big go.
Absolutely.
Is there any way around getting tubeless tyres on a rim if you've not got something like
this kind of tire you don't need that.
You don't need it?
No.
You can just use a normal pump?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
For bad tires you need one.
We won't mention anybody. Right. Let's do this.
Let's do this, Dave.
It's already chocked full of air.
It's full of air.
Ready to disperse, sir. Let's disperse away. How do I do this?
Slowly.
Slowly.
No, gone. That's it.
And we're waiting for that ting ting.
Yes.
That's when you know it's correctly seated, isn't it?
Absolutely. You can also check all around, but it looks good. Now you can decrease. Because there is no obus.
So what you're saying, once you've pumped the tyre, once you've got all that air in there, you want to deflate it a little, as long as it's seated correctly.
Absolutely. Now, tire is in place. Let's put some sealant.
Yeah, sealant, of course, is there in case you have a puncture. Obviously, there's no inner tube in there, so you've got to have some safety back up to fill the little gaps in case you get, like, I don't know, glass, stone in there.
Absolutely.
Quickly refill it and carry on your way.
For this kind of big gravel tire, we will use 50, 60 milliliters.
50 or 60 millilitres. Just fill it up with
Yeah, we
50,
fill up with
60 milliliters.
60, and keeping it down, put back
The valve
the
cork.
valve cork.
Easy.
Bad. And once it's closed again, sealant inside, you may inflate.
Yet again. Get it back
again.
up. Get it back up to pressure.
Yeah.
This time without the chamber.
No chamber.
No chamber.
What for?
Next tip. I'm
Next
out on
tip.
the road and I've gone through a bit of glass. I've gone through a sharp rock and I'm crying. I'm thinking I've not got mobile signal. My mum's not going to come and pick me up.
Yeah,
What can I do? How can I get home?
First of all, you continue 30 seconds.
Crying.
Yes, riding. Most of the time the sealant will fill up the hole.
So give it another 30 seconds of
30
riding,
second
and
riding,
it should fill it up.
just checking if it's filling up. If not, just stop and put a mesh.
A mesh.
Mesh.
A
plug.
A plug. Now you need a little tool for a plug, don't you?
Yeah. We need two tools. We need one to make a clean hole and another one to insert the plug. So you're lucky. We've got two tools. On one side, we make a clean hole,
Yeah.
and on the other side, we will insert the plug.
Okie doke.
And then inflate.
Easy. Okay, can you give us a 6 if you?
Yes.
Can we have a bonus? Okay.
Okay, Dave.
How
no joke.
often should we be checking this sealant then?
Every 6 months.
Every 6
Yes,
months.
you
How do we
must
check
check.
the sealant?
You must open and have a look.
How do we open it? Whip the tyre off.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Check if it's gone dry, rubbery
Yeah.
already.
Or
If
empty.
so, or
Good.
empty.
Yeah.
Put it back in. Easy street.
Yeah.
Right, there we have it. Plenty of top tips. Thank you very
Dave.
much. Right, join the conversation below. Let us know if you've got any top tips that we haven't covered here. Also, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching and enjoy your riding.